The streets of Southern California in 2021 roared with horsepower, the air thick with the smell of burning rubber and the low hum of engines preparing to pounce. Antonio P.T. Phillips, a 23-year-old with hands hardened by years of boxing and a heart that burned for speed, leaned against the sleek black body of his Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. The car was his pride, a street beast he called Black Ghost, pushing a monstrous 800 horsepower. Its glossy black paint reflected the neon lights of the city, interrupted only by the faint outline of the Challenger logo ghosted onto the doors, an ominous nod to its owner's penchant for late-night domination. PT had earned his nickname, Phantom Torque, not in the ring, but on the streets. His transition from an amateur boxer to a street racer wasn't by choice, it was survival. A shoulder injury had derailed his dreams of going pro, and with his boxing gym shutting down during the pandemic, PT found himself adrift. What kept him grounded was his uncle, Big Roy Phillips, a retired pro racer and legendary mechanic. Roy had seen PT's frustration and redirected it, pulling him into his garage, a shrine to speed and innovation. The centerpiece was Roy's own car, a Cadillac CT5V Blackwing with a Hennessy performance package, boasting an earth-shaking 1,000 horsepower. The Blackwing was a masterpiece of engineering, and the symbol of a legacy Roy hoped PT would carry forward. Boxing taught you precision, nephew. You know, timing, discipline, how to read your opponent. Same rules apply here, Roy had said one late night, handing PT his first set of wrenches. PT's Challenger was far from stock. They paired it with a high-flow cold air intake, giving the Hellcat a devilish growl. Every mod was a surgical enhancement to create a machine that was as fast as it was intimidating. On the streets, PT raced not for fame but for respect, carving out his place in California's underground racing scene. His rise was meteoric, and his reputation grew with each race. Competitors whispered about the Black Ghost, how it would appear out of the darkness, demolish opponents, and vanish before the cops could arrive. But PT wasn't just about brute speed. He raced with a boxer's instinct, anticipating moves, feinting on tight corners and striking hard on the straights. It was a style Roy called tactical fury. Their relationship wasn't without its challenges. PT's recklessness often clashed with Roy's calculated approach. One night, after PT returned with his Challenger's rear quarter panel shredded from a failed drift, Roy lost his temper. "You treat that car like a punching bag! You think this is a game?" Roy barked, slamming a wrench onto the workbench. PT fired back. "I'm out there risking everything for what? To keep the lights on? To prove I'm not a nobody?" The silence that followed was heavy, but it was Roy who broke it. "You're not a nobody, PT, you're my nephew. You've got the skills, but you need to learn control. That car is your second chance. Don't waste it." The turning point came during a high-stakes race against a rival crew leader driving a twin-turbo Nissan GT-R, the self-proclaimed king of the streets. The race was a brutal 10-mile sprint through the canyons, a test of both power and precision. Roy stood at the starting line, arms crossed, watching PT strap into the driver's seat. "Remember, the car's got the power, but you've got the brains," Roy reminded him, slapping the roof of the Challenger. The race was a symphony of chaos, tight corners, hair-raising straights, and the constant roar of engines. The GT-R had the edge in handling, but PT used the Hellcat's raw power to dominate the straights. On the final stretch, a risky late-braking maneuver put PT ahead, crossing the finish line just seconds before his rival. As PT climbed out of the car, the crowd erupted, and Roy gave a rare nod of approval. That night, the Black Ghost earned its place among legends. By the end of 2021, PT and Roy were a force to be reckoned with. The Challenger continued to evolve, with Roy designing custom mods that pushed the limits of what was possible. Their bond, forged in the garage and on the streets, was unbreakable. In the shadows of California's racing scene, Antonio P.T. Phillips and his Black Ghost became a symbol of resilience, power, and precision, a legacy born not just of speed but of heart.